Peace, my beautiful Leos. How y'all doing? I hope all is well with you, Leo. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Hasn't it, y'all? It's been a long time. A lot of shit has changed, Leo. A lot of shit has changed. Anyway, Leo, if you don't know me, my name is Key, and this is Kinda Sweet Tea. And for those of you who do know me, hey y'all. How y'all doing? All right, let's get into it. Leo, this is your general reading, so please only take what resonates to your situation and leave the rest. My goal is for this to be a singles Leo reading, but if we talk about a relationship that you may have had in the past or a person that you're getting to know, then that is what we're talking about. Okay? Excuse the poll. I was being a little too lazy to set it up right. It's over here. It's after 10 o'clock, so I don't want to wake up the people in the house. But let's get into it, Leo. See what it is that you need to know for the Leo energy. Yo, Leo, I got bit by something. I don't think it's a mosquito. I think it was like maybe like I don't know. When you're walking through like a very humid area and you have like gnats running around. I think maybe a gnat like got stuck somewhere in between the bracelet and bit me right on my wrist. Sucks. Leo, I saw the 10 of Wands. Are you carrying a heavy burden, a heavy load? Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities. I saw the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So you could have a lot of responsibilities. Not that it's not something that you are not able to manage. It just may be a lot for you, especially in today's economy. All right. At the bottom of the deck, you got the Justice. There could be some legal issues that you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be, or there could be some restoring of balance. Now, wherever you are in a situation in regards to, that balance, that fairness, that's entirely up to the situation that you're in and which role you play. But typically when the Justice is in the upright, that means justice could be on your side. Ooh, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, before I go any further, Leo, for some of you who know this deck, then you know what to expect. For others of you who do not know what to expect, there is nudity in this deck. There is sexual innuendos and content. If you are uncomfortable with those things, please, Leo, come back another reading, and hopefully a new energy will be available for you. But if you are comfortable with nudity and sexual contacts being implied in the deck, then stick around. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Okay? That was a long introduction, but let's get into it. Listen, for some of you who know Levi, he is here. Okay? And for those of you who know cats have a certain time in the evening when they go a little crazy. And he's there. Okay, so let's get into it for the energy of the Leo. What is it that Leo needs to know for the Leo energy? Leo, you know what just came to my mind? I don't know who this would resonate for. Somebody said he's her problem now. So even if there was not a third party and your ex is with someone and he was bothering you, he's giving that lady hell. Or man. 2 of Cups and the Empress energy. There is some balance around you with the 2 of Cups and the Empress. Leo, you could be connecting with someone who has this mutual understanding with you. Okay, now this could be romantic interest, friendship, sibling, partner, like business. Right? Ooh, the Justice came out. Something is definitely going in your favor. And it's your first card as a major arcana, so something is definitely going down for you, Leo. Okay, for some of you, this is something that has to do with the courts. All right, you could be expecting to sign some important documents, or you may be served some important documents. We have the Eight of Pentacles. There's an energy of mastery here. It's doing something and building something. Ooh, take your time, do it right. You can do it, baby. Baby, tonight. I don't know what that had to do with anything. But, ooh. Okay, that Ten of Wands energy is back out. And the Two of Pentacles is in reverse. I'm going to take them both. You could be connected to a Libra or have Libra in your chart. Libra ended up with 4 cards. My intention is to only have 3 cards, but for you and Libra, both 4 cards came out, and I'm going to take them. All right. Typically when we see the Two of Swords, we see the Two of Swords as, and unable to make a decision, right? But with the Two of Swords in reverse, there is no indecision. This is definite. Someone has found the answer. This could be in regards to a connection between you and someone. Someone has been, you have been on somebody's mind heavily, right? Or this is just some sort of heavy burden. But for some of you with the number 10, this could be coming to an end. Okay, we got the Nine of Pentacles, so everything that you worked hard for with the Eight of Pentacles is coming towards you. But we're going to go ahead and get this started here. See what it is that you need to know. This does really seem like singles energy. It doesn't really feel like it's anything that has to do with a couple. But I am seeing a lot of independent energy and energy where you're maybe that's something that's beneficial to you because that came out of nowhere. Someone was counting backwards, starting from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there could be like a countdown, right, where things may have started slowly for you or started, and now things are starting to become a reality for some of you, because there is that Ten of Wands energy. Like eventually, as things become, you work, as we see here with the Eight of Pentacles working. You are responsible for a lot of things. Eventually, some things have to fall, right? Some things have to fall. Some things have to be removed. And we kind of see that here with the Nine of Pentacles. You put in a lot of work and you're going to be receiving the benefits, reaping the rewards. It's time to harvest, Tell me more for Leo. Tell me more for Leo. Okay, look at that. The Ace of Wands, about creativity, sparking new ideas, spirituality. This could, for some of you, this is spirituality. Others of you, this is, in ways of embarking on new creative ways. This could be if you are opening up businesses, starting a new YouTube channel, becoming more social, whatever it is that you wanted to do in regards to creativity. I'm hearing a camera flash, so maybe you are a photographer, or maybe you like taking photos of things, and maybe you are thinking about showing your work or showing something off. All right, you got the King of Cups here, so this is something that you, Leo, are definitely working toward, that make you feel emotionally fulfilled, right? And for some of you, you are expressing this out loud. Were expressing this out loud, very mature about what it is that you wanted emotionally, and set forth toward doing those things with the Ace of Wands energy. This is definitely a birth of something new. Tell me more for Leo. Tell me more for Leo. Okay, we got the Six of Swords and the reverse. Now, for some of you, Leo, Star card, for some of you, Leo, Some of you have decided that you were going to go back to repair something, right? Like you moved on from something, right? You moved on from something, and it may have been a benefit for you. Now you may have moved on and started something new, started a new practice, or started a new hobby, started a new relationship, started a new whatever job, right? You may have moved on, but something from that past you may have felt needed to be repaired. Yeah. And I feel like you may have felt like there's something that you needed to learn from that situation. I'm going to go back to Cali, right? Maybe there's something that you wanted to redevelop, get a better understanding of. Yeah. Like there was something here with the 10 of Cups, 8 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. There was something that you were moving back toward because it did make you happy, right? There was something that made you happy, and it could have been, like when they say I'm going back to the drawing board. If it's not broken, don't fix it. You may have wanted to do something that put you in a space where you were at the highest point, right, where you received the most justice, and you may be like, okay, I've mastered that, let me return back to that and see what it is that I need to learn, right? You've made your decision when it comes to that. It may have been some challenges as well. Yeah, it may have been some challenges. You may have not been sure about the direction that you were going to go in, and this may be at this point with the 8 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords in reverse that you may have wanted to kind of like revisit to figure out a new direction. For some of you, you may be finding it with the 2 of Swords in reverse, because the Moon card and the 2 of Wands does show that there is some insecurity or uncertainty in regards to a direction or choosing a path. With the 2 of Swords in reverse, it's showing that there is a path that has been chosen or will be chosen. All right. And this is probably based off something that you needed to kind of like heal, right? Pour more healing energy into. Maybe this was old trauma that you experienced. Maybe this was old relationships that you wanted to rebuild, and this doesn't have to be romantic relationships. This could be relationships with your parents, or relationships with your siblings, relationships with friends, or business relationships. You may have wanted to rebuild those or fix those where there was a lot of hopeful energy in regards to growth and expansion. All right, let's talk about the 2 of Swords in reverse for you, Leo. Let's see. Why is the 2 of Swords here for Leo? The 2 of Swords. Why is the 2 of Swords here for Leo? Okay, at the bottom of the deck, you got the King of Pentacles. You got the High Priestess. You may have had some difficulty listening to your intuition at some point. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe it was in regards to someone that you had to leave behind, right? You may have not really listened to your intuition very much when it comes to this individual, but I'm seeing here with the High Priestess and the upright energy that you made your decision because you are listening to your intuition. Yeah, you did. Yeah. I feel like you're choosing yourself here. You're choosing to be emotionally protective. And I think it could have been because of some betrayal or some hurt. And I feel like because of that, there is a lot of change that has occurred. You could be connected to a Scorpio. You could have Scorpio in your chart. If you do have Scorpio in your chart, you can go ahead and check out that reading that I already posted for Scorpio, just so you can really get a full picture of what's going on. The person in Scorpio's reading, I believe that person is someone that was very controlling, someone who misused their power with Scorpio, And Scorpio showed up as a very giving individual, but is focusing on themselves, and that kind of looks like what's going on here, right? Healing, being patient, not just with the situation, but with yourself, Leo. All right. There was the King of Pentacles and the the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. This was definitely some type of breakdown or breakup between you and someone, and there is the energy of feelings of loss. Now, this could be the feeling of loss from you or the person that you're connecting to. I do feel like there is some type of strategy or plan. This could have been a strategy or plan from either you or the person that you're connecting to that caused some type of ending. But ultimately, I do feel like there's going to be some type of mutual exchange between the two of you if you are connected to someone that you had a breakup with the Two of Cups energy. Now, this mutual exchange could be that mutual emotional connection that you guys have between each other, and there may not be no communication at all coming because the High Priestess is silent. Right? The High Priestess, she does not talk about anything. She knows it, but she keep it to herself. All right, so whatever it is that you are indecisive about, I do feel like you've made your decision. All right, here's the Ten of Wands. Let's talk about it. Why is the Ten of Wands here? I feel like my phone is about to ring. Why is the Ten of Wands here? Why is the Ten of Wands here? There's some type of interruption that I feel is about to occur. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You started with an ace and you're ending with an ace. Look at that. You got the Six of Wands. This is victory for you, Leo. But like I was saying, like there is all of the work that you have put in, Leo, it looks like it's going to pay off for you. Like it's only but so much you can carry, right? But until eventually those things that you're carrying eventually needs to fall off, right? Because you've already mastered them, right? From the first ace that you received, this Ace of Wands that you received, there is then, point B, point C, point D, all the way to the 10th letter in the alphabet or whatever, all the way up into the 10th responsibility. Eventually, those things that you have collected, starting from that first point, once that has been mastered, it falls down. There's no reason to hold on to it anymore. And now it's just a lesson, right? And here you are with something new, with something long term, and something that could bring you abundance. Because the Ace of Pentacles is a start of something beautiful, right? It's start of something abundant. But let's get into it and confirm what it is that we're seeing in this reading. I just keep bumping this phone, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to put my mouth as close to the phone as possible, not only so that you guys can hear me clearly, but so I don't speak too loudly. Okay, but let's clarify this energy. And if you haven't already guessed, I'm going to clarify this. Okay? And then I'm going to get the Kipper deck, just as some type of full circle energy, right? Because this is going to be your best outcome or the best advice in this situation for you, Leo. But then we're going to pull out the Kipper to kind of get like that fortune telling energy. I do not claim to predict the future. However, I do believe firmly in my abilities to understand tarot and the potential of it becoming a reality in some individuals' journeys. Okay, but let's get into it. Clear messages for Leo. You know what I noticed, Leo? You only showed up in your reading once. Twice. Look at that High Priestess energy. Yeah, you may very well be connected to Libra energy, whether it's in your chart or you are connected to someone who may happen to be a Libra or have Libra in their chart. However, and I say this because you could be moving silently, like the decisions that you're making, you're not speaking about them. You're just taking the responsibilities that you have, and you're taking them from feeling like burdens to becoming a reward, right? With the Six of Wands, becoming a reward. Okay. Wow. All right, let's get into it. For the Leo energy. Oops. We get the Ten of Swords, and it did fall in a challenging position, so I'm going to just keep it exactly how it is. You could be trying to release negative thoughts. You could be trying to release betrayals, and that could be why you returned or were looking at the past to move forward. Yeah, so that you can either obtain some support from someone, or that you can use that information that you find after reviewing the past and saying, okay, I've mastered this and I can continue to move forward and become more abundant, or become more or create longer terms of success for myself and all the people around you. Look at that, because I do feel like Leo, you are using your not just your intuition, because all of the court cards, as far as the kings and the queens, they utilize their intuition in different ways. And with the sword energy, they're using their intellect, right? When we were talking about the Eight of Wands and the Six of Swords in reverse, we saw that itty bitty page, right? And that itty bitty page typically does what? Investigate, learn, see what it is that they can get from a situation. They're inquisitive. And here is the master of the sword. You're mastering, getting more knowledge and more understanding so that you could become more abundant. All right, and it shows here with that stability. One of the slowest knights in the deck, however, he's the longer term knight. He's more stable. He comes and he sits and he develops and he becomes this king of pentacles, right? And where you went back to be more inquisitive and become more understanding so you could become more stable, you're no longer indecisive. You're no longer indecisive, and you're listening to your intuition. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm not going to take it, but the Magician is definitely here. I do see the Eight of Wands peeking. Tell me more. All right. The Queen of Cups is showing up in a difficult position, all right? She's being challenged. You may need to learn to not just listen to your intuition, but follow your heart as well, all right? If you feel like you are not receiving, if you're not receiving your worth, I do agree, adjust and become more of not just the person who's going to be protective of their emotions and wait for what it is they want to come to them. I do believe that you taking the opportunity to be more action oriented, be more passionate about the things that you want, and there will be a new cycle that will be I can't think of the word, that will be open for you, right? But I understand why the challenge is here, right? Because the Two of Swords is still a difficult decision, right? And those difficult decisions could be leaving people behind, no longer talking to anyone, or dealing with financial hardships where you have to figure out ways to become more stable, whatever it is that cause you difficulty in separation from the things that bring you emotional fulfillment, I can understand why the Queen of Cups would be in the challenging position, because she would need to trust herself. You would need to trust yourself, Leo. Tell me about the 10. Last card. So trust yourself is what I'm saying, Leo. And know that your stability is coming, and you don't have to accept things that are not going to put you in a fulfilling place. Okay, things that bring you balance is what it is that you should be looking toward. I do feel like, Leo, there will be an offer that comes to you that you may not accept. May not be something that you're interested in. I think you're going towards something that brings you more stability. You will be stressing over partnerships, and that could be this individual that you may have, or a situation that you may have revisited in the past. You do have concerns about partnerships and community, right? And that could be the difficulty for you, the ability to trust yourself in regards to your emotions. Maybe your emotions get to the best of you, and you trust easily, right? Maybe you try to avoid manipulation, things like that. Or you just have this fear of being manipulated, or fear of community that does not feed into you the same way you feed into them. But I don't feel like, Leo, you are very challenged when it comes to that. So where you may have maybe trying to attempt to avoid this indecision, eventually it does reoccur to you, and you may be saying no to something because it makes you feel uncertain. Okay? And I think that's the most important part here. You're trying to restore balance within yourself and within your mind. You're trying to calm your mind, and you're trying to develop and grow into something stable. But you can't do that if you're holding on to something that does not fulfill you emotionally. And I feel like what it is that you want is stability and new opportunities, but the partnerships that you're in, those are what's causing you to be indecisive. And you will need to make a balanced decision, Leo, to decide to continue to move forward, leave it, or at least answer your own question. And doing so by listening to your intuition. Trust yourself, Leo. There is really someone that you care about a lot. And I'm not going to say let them go, because it does seem like as if you know this person very, very well. But when you do leave the situation, a lot of the time it's to balance yourself because of betrayal. You find yourself right back into this, I'm on an emotional roller coaster. I used to love that song. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you ain't never good for me. But I can't get off. Yeah, I think her name is Vivian Green. Yeah, Vivian Green, Emotional Roller Coaster, if you don't already know it. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you ain't never good for me. But I can't get off. I think what it is, Leo, is that you have a lot of hope for a situation or someone. And what it is that you're hoping for is the potential of it being stable. I think that's what you're holding on to. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but you do want to make sure that you're including you in that, right? Not just how you feel in between your legs, or how you feel when you see them walk through the door. Butterflies ain't always a good thing. All right, so definitely don't forget yourself. Okay, don't forget yourself. Okay. Yeah, this is about an individual. This person does come around with gifts, okay? And they come in, they leave, they come in, they leave, they come in, they leave, they come in, they leave. Yeah. This person could be either someone who wears a uniform, someone who is always around people who are in uniforms. You could take it however it resonates for you. But it is definitely someone that you have great care for. But we have main woman. Main woman is typically the protagonist. That's you, Leo. And we have message of concern. So you could be receiving some type of message, Leo. And it could be in regards to safety or home or security. Okay. Safety or home or some type of security. I'm not sure what house and courtship has to do with each other. But when we think about it together, right? In the Kipper deck, house is about security because of the gates. Is behind a gate. Is yours. You feel safe. This is home for you, right? And we have this courtship energy. So you could be receiving some type of message from someone who's interested in you. They may want to come to your home. If this is a new person, I don't think so. Okay. If this is a new person, I don't think so. Even if it's someone who you're familiar with, there is some ill intention here. So whatever that ill intention may be, I'm not saying that they're here to harm you. I'm not trying to scare you. What I'm saying is you may not know the true intentions of this person. So meeting them outside your home might be better. All right, Leo, this is your message. If you are still here and you enjoyed this reading, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for my Leos who've already been here, thank you so much. Don't forget to comment down below. I appreciate you returning. Peace.